Zainab Ali Saeed and her sister arrived in this camp in Debre Birhan the day before VOA visited in September. She fled her town located 100 kilometres from Ethiopia's Addis Ababa after two of her children were killed by the Oromo Liberation Army, OLA, because of their Amhara ethnicity, she says.
I have lost my two kids. One of them, they found his body at the local gas station. The OLA must have killed him on his way there as he drove a tuk-tuk. He was 25. His brother was 20.
Asked why the violence had suddenly spread to their hometown, Zainab's sister said she doesn't know what happened to the peaceful coexistence between ethnic Amharas and Oromos.
We used to live and eat together. We didn't see any danger coming. The first we knew of it was the attack. That is it. If they had told us, we would have left.
She told VOA she has never known violence like this. Stories like theirs are becoming more common. Rights groups are referring to the fighting in Oromia as Ethiopia's other conflict, separate from the one in the Tigray region. Analysts warn that the fighting in Oromia is a major threat to Ethiopia's federal government, led by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The violence stems not just from the OLA, but also ethnic Amhara militias killing Oromo people. Data from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project shows hundreds of civilians have been killed by Amhara militias in the last year. The manager of this camp for displaced people, known as China Camp, says it didn't exist in January. Violence in the Oromia conflict has increased to such an extent that 15,000 people now live there, however.
In Debre Birhan town, there are 37,000 displaced people. They are displaced in Wolega. In this camp alone, there are more than 15,000 IDPs. Women, the elderly, kids, people with disabilities live here. Regarding humanitarian aid, it's hard. We need aid.
Despite the clear need for aid, humanitarian organisations say that because of lack of access and available data, they do not know the full extent of the crisis.
So we know that there's ongoing clashes and there's violence that's affecting civilians. What we don't know is if there are displacements or if there are significant losses in civilian infrastructure that require humanitarian assistance. That we don't know. For the conflict affected and the conflict displaced, those numbers just haven't been made available.
Accurate information on what is happening in large parts of Oromia is also scarce due to insecurity and a lack of adequate media coverage, analysts say. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Debre Birhan, Ethiopia.